Okay, I guess the game is over. From what I saw there was another boss, and I was waiting for that boss to show up. Apparently, I don't get that. Okay, that's Evolution Worlds. First of all, I can't believe I beat this game. I mean, it's a really difficult thing to run into that boss like I did. How many levels was I down? Like 12 levels or something? Maybe even more than that. He was 57. I was like 40, like 43 maybe? Turn down the volume. A little loud. So that was kind of crazy. But I am happy that I actually beat this boss. I can get this off my conscience now. Like, I've finally beaten Evolution Worlds. I've beaten this boss that gave me struggles multiple times and I wasn't able to defeat him. But I actually don't have very much written down, unfortunately, because I was expecting this game to be a little bit longer. I'll have to double check my playtime, but I can't imagine it's anywhere close to 25 hours, like how you beat that it was. But I guess I'll just do the rundown, do it off the dome. What was the story? Well, basically, Linear is part of Evolution, and there's two halves of Evolution, life and basically destruction. And we just kind of go on a journey to investigate ruins and stumble upon Yurka, who's destruction, and he somehow convinces Linear to join him to destroy the world so that they can revive the world. And we go after Linear and save her, and life is good. The story left much to be desired. I will go on record saying that I don't like the story. I think the story is pretty poor compared to many other RPGs and JRPGs out there that I have played, especially from this era and earlier. Was it satisfying? Not really. The most satisfying thing was beating Yurka. That was amazing. It was satisfying to beat it as well, because again, I've tried to play this game twice. I don't know if I've have another game that's like this one, where I went to go to a boss, or I went to play the game, I got to a boss, got stuck, and set it down, then went back again, got to the same boss, got stuck, and then set it down again. I don't know if I've ever ran into that situation in another game. This might have been the first one. Did it feel complete? I mean, it had a start, it had a finish. I guess it felt complete. There was some stuff I wish there was more. Maybe we got more. Early credits?
What's wrong, Meg?
Don't pull that game called Lost Sphere on me. Don't do that.
As we were leaving the hotel, they gave me a letter.
A letter?
Yeah, it's addressed to me.
Let me see. Shall I read it for you? I am sure that it is a message of heartfelt thanks to the young master and the rest of us.
Kinda embarrassing.
This cannot be.
What's wrong, Greg?
Young master, this is a bill for lodging at the Museville Hotel.
What?
Here I thought there was going to be some evil master plan. I got trolled.
It says, please pay the amount of 300,000 denari for 1 week's lodging for the current adventure.
Huh? What? But wasn't the society supposed to pay for the hotel? What's wrong, Gray?
There is more.
More?
But since Mr. Mag and his party will be leaving on the train, we have billed the society, so the bill has been paid by increasing the Launcher family debt.
What?
Therefore, we ask that you please repay this debt through your further adventures. Young Master Mag, then we must work hard. So I, Gray, shall be of what service I can.
Now you better take those suckers to court.
So unfair.
That's pretty good. I like that. Oh. I didn't know I was getting all this. All right, so we got a A rank. Clear time 15 hours. Number of rescues? What does that mean? Oh, like maybe if I died in a dungeon? Number of battles. Wow, that's a lot of battles. Okay. I'm a hotshot adventurer. I dig it. I like the score screen. This is nice. All right, moving on. How was the pacing? The pacing of this game is kind of crazy. It is really, really quick. Like pew, you know. This game does not slow down. And I'm struggling to think of the other game that's like this. It might have been Xenoblade Chronicles 2. There was a game recently-ish that I've played where the game just doesn't slow down. It just goes. And this game is very much like that. It just goes. And there is no slowing down at all. So I actually like that, you know? I mean, there's no nonsense. Just continue on with the story. Did I like it? To be honest, I thought the game was kind of mediocre, and a lot of that just has to do with the story. The gameplay is okay, you know. It's standard run-of-the-mill turn-based combat. I actually like turn-based over like real time and things like that. So it kind of just falls on the story to kind of pick up the slack, and it just doesn't do that. What are some gameplay elements that stand out? Combining items. That is not something that I'm very familiar with in other games. I'm not even sure if other games use a system like that, like this game, where, you know, you have, say, 2 potions and you combine them together and now you have a 2-use potion. That's kind of cool. I can't think of another RPG game that I've played that has that. The downside to that is there's only limited inventory space. But they have backpacks, which increase your inventory space. That was really cool. Again, I've never been in an RPG that takes these elements and kind of helps you out with them a little bit. Now, I feel like they didn't do enough, but at the same time, it was greatly appreciated. So I will take that. Let's see. Let's just pause because well, I guess I'll just turn down the volume like 5%. Let's see. Last hitting an enemy gives the character extra experience. That's also another cool mechanic that I'm not actually familiar with all too well. So that was really cool. You know, what other games give you bonus experience for last hitting that are JRPGs? None come off the top of my head. It's not really saying that much. The combat I kind of briefly spoke about the combat. It's standard to mill, turn-based. Some of the abilities are really cool. They have a grid system, and it kind of matters a little bit. You take less damage the farther back you are, and more damage the further up you are. And that's... There's not much strategy in that, but they do make use of the grid. You know, you can move people back, you can move people forward. I don't know why you would ever want to move people back, though, because they take less damage. But I guess they deal less damage too, so I don't know. Combat was fine. On the low spectrum of fine. It could have been more dynamic. There could have been another like X factor, you know, like a limit break system or something like that, just to add a little bit more spice. Annoying dungeons. Every single dungeon that was more than 5 floors was an irritating slog. Yeah. Some cardinal sins. Removing key party member without sufficient replacement. We spend the entire game with Linear. I don't think Linear leaves the party a single time until she leaves the party for the rest of the game. And that really, really sucks. Because I was using Linear for the entire freaking game. I don't even think you could replace Linear. So then you gotta get into a situation where you have to have someone replace her. What if, for whatever reason, you missed out on the upgrade for Pepper, for her to heal everybody? Then you're stuck with Gray. Gray only has single target healing from what I've noticed. And I don't think you can beat this game with Gray. Unless you like level grinded to like level 80 or something like that. That's a struggle. You can't take away key party members and not give a replacement for them. It's just not cool, man. Especially that late into the game. Sound, like music. I think this game has some decent tracks. None of the songs that I've heard are anything where I'm like, man, I can't listen to this one. They're all pretty solid. The voice acting, I mentioned the voice acting quite a bit in this game, and I feel like it's unique. I spoke about this, I guess, if you're seeing this on YouTube, several episodes ago, when I was talking to some people in chat, that I'm not familiar with very many games that have voice acting on the GameCube, let alone games that have voice acting for the entire game, for every character, for 99.9% of the dialogue. There were like 4, maybe 5 instances, like 6, where they didn't do voice acting, and it was extremely minor stuff. So that's cool. Props. I can't really speak about the graphics because this is an emulator. Speaking of emulator, just in case, I still have my game. Yep, still got the game. Still got the game. Game. There you go. That's the game. I can't really speak about the graphics because these graphics are considerably higher resolution than what the GameCube is supposed to put out. So graphics look nice. I was happy with the graphics. Replay value, I don't think this game has any replay value whatsoever. I just can't imagine anybody wanting to go through those dungeons anymore. It's kind of like Dragon Age. I really want to replay that game, but I don't want to go through a single one of those dungeons because they all sucked. Nostalgia, I do have some nostalgia. I kind of briefly touched on this several times, but you know, there was a boss that I didn't beat, That's basically the reason why I wanted to come back to play this game. Some favorite stuffs. I don't really have anything that jumps out at me as favorite. I thought Carcano was pretty entertaining, even though a lot of the stuff he did just made no sense. Things that I disliked. I disliked the item limit. I disliked the dungeon length. The boss level inconsistency. This does so. The boss that I was expecting to fight after the ulti weapon or whatever, ulti cannon, was supposed to be like a level 60 boss or something like that, which would have made no sense why you would jump from a 67 boss or 65 boss to a level 60 boss. But thankfully they didn't do that. But there were still some boss level inconsistencies there that I didn't like. There were some unskippable cutscenes that we encountered there. You know, it's just irritating. You can't fast forward or anything like that. But again, you know, it's a GameCube game, so you know what you gonna do. It's a port too. And the writing, I didn't like the writing. It's very bare bones, very basic, very tropey. It didn't do anything special. Didn't go outside the box. So, and if the developer is watching, I thought the game was, you know, I would say fairly average. I'm pretty sure the game didn't do so well on reviews. I think it has like a 50 or something like that on Metacritic. And I think that's a relatively fair rating for the game. The game doesn't break any boundaries. It doesn't do anything new or special or unique per se. But you know, if you're looking for just another RPG to add to the list, you know, maybe you've played, you know, majority of RPGs out there, this one might be for you. And so I'd say the developers, you know, I don't regret playing this game. I'm happy to cross it off my list as one of my old games that I never got to beat. And you know, maybe someday this game will get a sequel and we'll get some modern design for it. That would be great. I'd love to see this game. I guess I wanted to use evolved, but I'm not going to go that far. I would love to see this game given a polish that the modern age has, in a new, maybe a new setting, maybe a new world, maybe new characters, blah blah blah. But that's all I got for this game. Had some fun, you know. Happy to get this game off my list. I will be back Monday, 6 o'clock p.m. PST. I don't know 100% what I'm going to be playing, but some things that are on my list are Golden Sun, Lunar Silver Star Harmony. Let's see, Sands of Destruction, and those are the only ones. Yeah, those are the only ones that I can think of right now. So it'll probably be something like that. There's plenty of other games on my list that I actually want to play. If I just were to take a quick look, still want to do the Assassin's Creed semi-franchise run. One of these days I want to do the Mass Effect trilogy. Mega Man Battle Network, I want to do a franchise run of that. Black Sigil, Blade of the Exile, I don't own that one yet, so I can't play it, but I will be ordering that, probably used, so that I can play that probably on an emulator. It'll be something. I'm leaning towards Lunar because I've never actually played that game very far. It was kind of like a Xenoblade Chronicles 1 situation for me, where I've only played maybe like 30 minutes of it, an hour or something like that. And then I just kind of set it down and never went back to it. So, yeah. Anyways, thanks for watching. Appreciate it. I'll be back Monday, 6 o'clock p.m. PST with some video game. Thanks for watching. See you then. Peace.